Well, we are here at Bishop Dwenger High School. A little update for you. The JV game between Blackhawk Christian and Bishop Dwenger is going into overtime. Dwenger just tied the game in the final seconds off a missed free throw and an offensive tip-in. So that game's going into overtime. We'll get the varsity game started here in just a matter of moments. For now, this is Thad Goff here for SummitCitySports.com. Well, the JV game has ended. Blackhawk Christian wins the JV game here at Bishop Dwenger, 58-52. I'm Thad Goff. I'll be bringing you the broadcast of Blackhawk Christian versus Bishop Dwenger varsity basketball here in just a matter of moments. They'll put 20 minutes on the clock so that the teams can warm up. But again, we got Blackhawk Christian taking on Bishop Dwenger in boys basketball. We'll tell you more about the matchup as we get closer to the start of this game. We will be back in just a matter of moments here on SummitCitySports.com.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Here at Always 100, we have different things that we provide each week with our elite training, working on things that can help them get a scholarship in the future if they don't have one right now. A bunch of skill development, helping kids get better, understanding what it takes to get to the next level. Catching and shooting, working on ball handling. In the last 5 years, we had over 200 kids that's able to play basketball at some places from the NAIA, Division III, Division II, or Division I level.
Your kids grow up quick, and there's a lot to teach them. Some lessons they won't pick up in school. Some they'll learn the hard way. But when it's time to give them the keys to their finances, we'll be there to help. With their first checking account and the tools they need to make sense of their money. And even though they're off on their own, you'll be able to check in to see how they're doing. Raising your children is important, and teaching them about money is a big deal. So ProFed makes it easy. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing.
We are back here at Bishop Dwenger High School, getting ready to bring you this matchup between the homestanding Saints and the Braves of Blackhawk Christian. It's an interconference matchup. Blackhawk Christian, an independent team, versus Bishop Dwenger of the Summit Athletic Conference. Well, it has been a great season for Blackhawk Christian despite all the talent that they lost to graduation a year ago. Caleb First, of course, was a leading scorer on that state championship team last year. He was also Mr. Basketball here in the great state of Indiana. He's over at Purdue now. Gotten a few starts under his belt at Purdue, although I don't believe he's a full-time starter, at least not yet. But he's gotten a few starts under his belt, and that's tough to do considering you've got Travion Williams and Zach Eady that you're battling with for those minutes. And, of course, Zane Burke has also graduated. He's off at St. Francis now. Marcus Davidson is off at Grace College. He was one of the top scorers that Blackhawk Christian had. He was a very talented guard, as was Burke. Davidson now at Grace College. He is the son of head coach Mark Davidson, younger brother of former leading scorer Frank Davidson. And, of course, with that talent gone, a lot of guys have had to step up this year, but those guys have stepped up. Gage Sefton has been the leading scorer this season. Lewis Jones and Josh First, Caleb's younger brother, have both contributed as well. Sefton has averaged 18.5 points. Jones averaged 14.9 points. Josh First is the second leading scorer, averaging 16.4 points. He and Jimmy Davidson are the leading rebounders at 9.9 points. And as far as the talent lost and the talent stepping up this year for Blackhawk Christian, what Mark Davidson had to say was, and I quote, "We have an extremely cohesive group this year. They love playing together. They are skilled players, and that has translated into success on the court," end quote. That's what Mark Davidson had to say when I reached out to him via email earlier this week. Now, Bishop Dwenger, on the other hand, they do have a losing record at 4-6. However, they usually give Blackhawk Christian quite the challenge. I remember a couple of years ago, they battled with Blackhawk Christian here at this very court In a game I did, I believe they only lost that one by 5, Bishop Dwenger did, but they battled in that one, and one of the highlights of that game for Dwenger, despite the fact that it was a loss, was when Brendan Lytle knocked down a three-point shot right over the outstretched arm of one Caleb First. It was a heck of a shot indeed, and Blackhawk Christian was able to pull out the win. Bishop Dwenger, though, did not go down without a fight. They're 4-6 this year. They had a 3-game winning streak that got snapped on January 21st by Bishop Luers. That 3-game winning streak included games against Pendleton Heights, Warsaw, and Carroll. And Dwenger will look to get back on track in this very game tonight. They're led by an experienced head coach in Matt Kostoff. He's won 273 games in his career at Bishop Dwenger. This is his 23rd season, by the way, after taking over for former head coach Chris Johnson, who's now at Homestead and having a lot of success with that particular program. Well, we will be back in just a matter of moments as we get set for the start of this game between Blackhawk Christian and Bishop Dwenger. You are watching high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I like to stay active. I try to come in here at least 3 times a week and just get my 1-hour workout in. Since September, I think I've put on 22 pounds of muscle. I think my vertical has gone up plus 5 inches. I've gotten a lot faster since then, too. I can hit the ball further. In football, I can push people around more. It's basketball easier, too. Just being stronger just makes everything easier.
Brandon started with Gym Rat's basketball training. After one of the sessions, he came up to me and he wanted to know if he could do more. So Brandon started the Edge program in November, in addition to the club training he was doing, because it offers personalized programming for his athletic goals. PSN Performance uses a long-term athletic development pyramid. At such a young age, it's really good for Brandon to set the foundation of athletic development. Since he is in season all year round, he has to be ready for all the physical demands. So he does a lot more strength training, just because in basketball he sprints and cuts a lot. In baseball he's doing a lot of sprinting. In football he does a lot of sprinting and jumping. So preparing him to withstand the physical demands of those games, he does a lot more strength training.
I like all the lower body stuff the best. I do goblet squats, split squats, back squat, front squat, a lot of those. Tyler knows what's best for me. He always points me in the right direction. He just pushes me to go harder every day.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
I just want to be the best in basketball. So I want to be the greatest of all time to play women's basketball. So I just know there's people out there working just as much as me. So I just want to keep working hard and keep that intensity going. And so one day I can pursue my dreams of being in the WNBA and playing overseas. So I just want bigger things to come in my life.
I remember when I started in March, she could do 0 pull-ups. She did have a great 25-inch vertical when she first started. She only weighed 150 pounds. One of our main mottos is do the simple things exceedingly well, and that's where we started. So we started the foundation, building her base, and now we've got to basically the peak of our pyramid of things that we can do with her. So we didn't skip any levels. We did all the basics, and she got really, really good at them, and that's what's led her to become as great as she is at basketball and performance.
I've watched her grow, the confidence-wise, the strength-wise, the jumping ability, her footwork. It's really amazing to kind of watch for a girl her size, being 6'3", 6'4", to move like she can move and do the thing and be as agile as she is, along with the strength.
Here at Always 100, we have different things that we provide each week with our elite training, working on things that can help them get a scholarship in the future if they don't have one right now. Watching skill development, helping kids get better, understanding what it takes to get to the next level. Catching and shooting, working on ball handling. In the last 5 years, we had over 200 kids that's able to play basketball at some places from the NAIA, Division III, Division II, or Division I level.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Your kids grow up quick, and there's a lot to teach them. Some lessons they won't pick up in school. Some they'll learn the hard way. But when it's time to give them the keys to their finances, we'll be there to help with their first checking account and the tools they need to make sense of their money. And even though they're off on their own, you'll be able to check in to see how they're doing. Raising your children is important, and teaching them about money is a big deal. So ProFed makes it easy. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Bishop Dwenger getting set to take on Blackhawk Christian here at Bishop Dwenger High School. A little update about the Bishop Dwenger stats on the season so far. They've got a few guys who can shoot it well from downtown, including Sam Campbell. He shoots it over 43%. Henry O'Keefe, he shot it 22 times from downtown, but he hits over 40% of his shots from that spot on the floor. Owen Shively shoots it at 31.7%, so he's a guy who can knock him down from beyond the arc. As far as points per game goes, Dwenger does not have a player who's over 500, or excuse me, who's averaged over 10 points for the game. They got a number of guys who have stepped up with some guys leaving due to graduation, guys like Brendan Lytle, who's now at St. Francis. He'll be playing baseball this upcoming season. In fact, I think their opener is in about a month. He was a baseball player, a basketball player, and a football player here at Bishop Dwenger, and he was pretty good at all three sports. Could have gone to play college in either one of those. He chose baseball. And, of course, Sam Campbell right now is the leading scorer at 9.9 points per game. Some of the other players they're replacing are guys like Xavier Nolan, Xavier Allen, really good athletes that Dwenger had, but looking to rebuild after last year, after the last couple of years, actually. They're 4-6. A win tonight could go a long way for the Bishop Dwenger Saints. They hang tough against Blackhawk Christian. They have the last couple of years, even, I believe, lost by 8 last year to Blackhawk Christian in a road game against the Braves. That was a close one. It was close when Blackhawk Christian came here 2 years ago. Braves ended up winning by 5, but Dwenger battled tough with them. A little bit interesting jersey combination tonight. Bishop Dwenger not doing anything unusual. They're going white, but Blackhawk Christian is going with the yellow jerseys. You usually see them going either blue or sometimes black when they're on the road, but tonight going with the yellow jerseys. We'll get the first half started here in just a matter of moments, but for now we're going to go ahead and get in a word from a few of our sponsors that allow us to come and do these games that we get to do here on SummitCitySports.com. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions and enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. Kelly Automotive Group is Indiana's #1 automotive group with over 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Please visit drivekelly.com. Simple, transparent, and reliable. Tom Steele Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They'll help you to find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services like brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. You're invited to join ProFed Credit Union, where we get to know you to better serve you. Sign up online in 5 minutes or stop by a branch. Join ProFed today and start owning your financial future at profedcu.org. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind throughout the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com to learn more. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area. From ages 5 to 18, our players are equipped with elite-level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board. Together, we can reach the summit. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. A system and solution that fits your unique needs. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. iCryo specializes in whole-body cryotherapy, body sculpting, cryofacials, infrared sauna, and compression therapy services. Learn more about their services and check out Jalen Smith's signature location on Coliseum Boulevard by Blaze Pizza right here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Meanwhile, we're checking on a few scores going on around the area. It looks like Huntington North and Southside girls are in the third quarter right now. Huntington North's got a 31-27 lead over Southside in that one. Huntington North is no stranger to beating SAC opponents. It was just a couple of years ago they went on the road and beat Concordia in a come-from-behind win, a late come-from-behind win, I might add. Speaking of Concordia, their boys basketball team is on the road at New Haven. And it looks like they're just about ready to start, so yeah, they're doing the pregame intros, it looks like. And one of the other games going on is Canterbury versus Northrop boys. They're in the first quarter. Northrop's got a 10-5 lead over Canterbury. Carroll and Northside were playing earlier tonight. That's girls basketball, and they might have gone final by now. They got an earlier start. We'll check on that when we get a chance to. In the meantime, we are going to come back after this break. You're watching high school basketball here on SummitCitySports.com.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance. I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in I cryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for I cryo.
By the way, we do have an update on that Carroll-Northside game. They have gone final, and Carroll is the winner 66-32 over Northside. We'll have Carroll again this coming Friday night. That'll be doubleheader action as they take on Snyder. But here, it's Bishop Dwenger taking on Blackhawk Christian. Blackhawk Christian 13-1, but Dwenger usually plays them tough. They've played them tough the last 2 times they've played them. They'll look to do the same again and not only play tough, but come out with a victory in the end. In the meantime, a few more words from our sponsors here at SummitCitySports.com. Are you ready to do what it takes to put your past behind you, whether it's expunging your criminal record or helping you to get your driver's license reinstated? If so, then Jolie Law Firm is your answer. You can call them at 260-426-0242. Sioka Cleaning and Restoration provides top-notch commercial cleaning services, including janitorial, water damage, and state-of-the-art disinfecting services throughout Northeast Indiana. For more information about their services, visit them online at siokas.com or call them at 260-483-2112. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. We serve every level of athlete with our integrated sports medicine team, including the region's only specialized athletic rehab facility. Learn more about our services by logging on to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. Again, Blackhawk Christian versus Bishop Dwenger. Those two teams set to do battle here in about, well, not quite 30 seconds, more than 30 seconds. They'll have the national anthem and a little pregame prayer, as well as the introduction of the starting lineups for both teams here in just a matter of moments. When they get this clock down, we will turn things over to the PA announcer here at Bishop Dwenger High School. And, of course, Bishop Dwenger is coming off a SAC Wrestling Tournament Championship this past Saturday, held over at Snyder High School. May talk a little bit about that later on, but for now we're going to have the starting lineups introduced, as well as a pregame prayer and the national anthem.
High School and the stadium at Shields Field for tonight's boys basketball matchup between the Blackhawk Christian Braves and the home team, Bishop Dwenger Saints. Please stand and join us as we ask for God's blessing over this event. Let's pray. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, you have created us to strive for the best. Grant to all athletes, coaches, and fans strength, pursuit, excellence, and this event. And all that we do to the glory of God. Pray for the safety of these athletes, protect them from injuries and harm. Finally, pray for your grace, that you will provide us with endurance, pursuit, and every one. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Father. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem.
We're just about ready for basketball here. Blackhawk Christian, or here at Bishop Dwenger, they take on Blackhawk Christian. That's Preston Ross to tip it off against Josh First at half court. And the tip is won by the Braves as First tips it into the hands of Boyer, Jake Boyer. I believe he is the lone returning full-time starter on this Blackhawk Christian team. Gage Sefton did start a few games last year. Guys in the starting lineup for Bishop Dwenger tonight. That's one thing that could very well pose a threat against these Braves of Blackhawk Christian. That's a catch and shoot from the corner by Shively, and he hits a three. Owen Shively does pose a little bit of size. He's 6'4", but he also poses a really good three-point shot. He just showed you a little bit of that on that last possession. There's the dish inside to Jake Boyer. He goes baseline, fakes a man, and then gets blocked. Boyer able to stay with it. It was Preston Ross who blocked the shot for Dwenger. And they get it to Jimmy Davidson right along the paint, and he has it knocked away. The pickpocket by C.J. Piper. Jackway fakes a man into the air, but then the Saints get back defensively. Campbell couldn't hit that three. He shoots it at over 40% from beyond the arc, but he was unable to nail that one. Davidson working the paint, finds Gage Sefton. Sefton spinning in, turnaround jumper, too strong. Kept alive, Boyer the offensive board, that's blocked. Preston Ross. And back the other way comes Campbell, he loses the ball. But Piper is there to recover. Owen Shively from downtown, no good. Batted out and an offensive board, Ross kept it alive. Out to Sam Campbell. And Shively's going to try again, no good. He's 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. The one came on Dwenger's first possession. Out to Davidson. He finds Sefton. Sefton fires. He hits a three. Gage Sefton, the Braves' leading scorer, gets on the board for the first time tonight. Man-to-man defense by the Braves here on this Dwenger possession as Piper is looking to go inside. Davidson stays on him the whole way. Jackway, the jump hook, off the rim. And here comes Davidson the other way. He'll slow things down and find Sefton. Sefton hit the three on the last Blackhawk Christian possession. Saints look to be in the man-to-man as well. First trying to get it inside to Sefton. Now they work it outside to Lewis Jones. And Lewis Jones, I don't think he started any games last year, but he had some quality performances off the bench. He's had plenty of quality performances this year. He's averaging over 14 points per game. Here's Sefton into the paint, and the runner wouldn't fall. Preston Ross comes down with the rebound. Ross has made his presence felt so far today. He's blocked a couple of shots, gotten a few offensive rebounds. Created that rebound for Bishop Dwenger last time Blackhawk had the ball. Campbell has it blocked by First. Josh First, the brother of a shot blocker. Caleb First specialized in that. Josh First showing he can do a little bit of that as well. Over to Campbell. Campbell feeds it outside. That's Ross with the catch and shoot. That's an air ball, but right there for the putback is C.J. Piper. And that's nearly stolen away. Davidson's able to recover. Boyer was halfway through the shot, then dissed it to Jones, and Jones couldn't knock it down. Lob inside to Ross. Check that. That's Jackway. There's Ross on the other block. Has to come away from the block to catch the pass. The reason he did so was because Josh First was playing pretty good defense on him. First was doing exactly what you expect your guys to do on defense. Gage Sefton did plenty of what you ask your guys to do on defense there. Knocked the ball away. was just about to say that Josh First did exactly what you're supposed to do on defense. He stayed between the basket and his man. Did not allow an easy shot. And now First is trying to get by his man. The home crowd wanted an elbow call, and they're not going to get it. So Josh First gets on the board for the first time in this game. That's Campbell off the catch and shoot. Comes up short on the 3 ball, and Sefton's got the board. Here comes Davidson down the floor, into the paint. Gets double teamed, finds Sefton. That's a catch and shoot 3, but it won't fall. Piper back the other way as Davidson picks him up. They got Jackway posting up down low, and I think that's Jackway's first touch of the game, and it's a quality touch. It results in 2 points. Nice little spin move to get the basket by Jackway. Dwenger has scored and Blackhawk has answered. That's been the trend so far, although the answers have not always been immediate. First, trying to get it in off the glass. Offensive board by Davidson. Tried to throw it off a defender, and it'll kind of work the way he wanted. Maybe not quite, but either way, it is Blackhawk Christian ball as Sam Campbell was the last one to touch it last. Last one to touch the ball, I should say. That was a bit redundant. Subs will come into the game. That's Rocco Sioka checking in. It's a big 6'3" guard/forward type of player. He's been a wide receiver on the Dwenger football team these last few years, a starting wide receiver, as First goes one-on-one and puts it home right over number 35 for Dwenger. That's Joe Kelly. And we've got a whistle, a quick whistle underneath. Not sure what the whistle was for. They just stopped play, and Dwenger's going to keep the basketball. And we remain tied at 7 with 2:04 and counting to play. Little shot fake there by Cameron Quinlan. Here's Campbell at the top of the key. Wanted to fire a 3, but a good closeout there by Lewis Jones. I think Jones might have done his scouting report on Sam Campbell. Foul on the floor. C.J. Piper might have been bumped there by Josh First. It is on First. It's his first foul. That's a first team foul against Blackhawk Christian. Piper off the catch and shoot. Misses off the rim. And Davidson will let that one go. Sioka to no avail. Tried to save it off of Davidson. And of course, Blackhawk Christian head coach Mark Davidson has accomplished a lot at Blackhawk Christian, but he's been battling cancer recently, and luckily he's able to coach tonight. Was not able to coach a couple weeks ago in the loss to Homestead. Certainly keep him in our prayers and hope that if the Lord wills, he can beat this dreadful disease, as Sefton is not able to knock that one down. Sam Campbell with the rebound. Campbell will get the high screen from Joe Kelly. We're down to about a minute to play in this first quarter. A close game so far. It's become the trend between these two teams as Kelly makes his move and scores between 2 defenders. Little full court pressure there by Sam Campbell. Guarding the inbound. He knocked the ball away, but the ball went out off of him. Henry O'Keefe into the game for the Saints. 52.7 to go here in this first quarter. Blackhawk Christian's only loss of the season was to Homestead. That was a home game. You know that's a game they wanted to win. It's their 4th loss to the Spartans in a row, and that's become a bit of a rivalry with as successful as those two programs have been. Blackhawk Christian's won 2 state championships in the last 3 years. Homestead won state back in 2015, and of course they've had a great deal of success under head coach Chris Johnson, the former Bishop Dwenger head coach, I might add. Matt Kostoff was an assistant under Chris Johnson. And a foul's called. That's on the Saints. Check that on the Braves. I think they got Josh First for that one, or did they? No, they got Gage Sefton. Had it been on first, it would have been his second. Instead, it's on Sefton, only his first. Henry O'Keefe from off the bench. Looked like he wanted to either fire a three or feed the ball inside to Kelly, but now Kelly, for just a moment there, was out to set the screen. Owen Shively has hit a three so far in this game. He's 6'6". He's at that height where you could see him either as a wing type of player or a post player. This is Cameron Quinlan with the ball backing it out to about half court. They're down to 7 seconds. That's Shively for three. It's off the mark. Rebound comes to Sefton. Gets across the timeline, lets it fly, and it's an air ball. The student section will let him hear about that. It's a close game early on as we get ready for the second quarter here on SummitCitySports.com.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
Your kids grow up quick, and there's a lot to teach them. Some lessons they won't pick up in school. Some they'll learn the hard way. But when it's time to give them the keys to their finances, we'll be there to help. With their first checking account and the tools they need to make sense of their money. And even though they're off on their own, you'll be able to check in to see how they're doing. Raising your children is important, and teaching them about money is a big deal. So ProFed makes it easy. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing.
9-7 in favor of Bishop Dwenger, looking for the upset win over Blackhawk Christian. A team that they have typically hung tough against in recent years. Had the 5-point loss just 2 years ago. I believe they lost to Blackhawk by 8 1 year ago. But they've got a 2-point lead as we start the second quarter. Quinlan looking to go baseline. Davidson cut him off. Back outside to O'Keefe. O'Keefe, a multi-sport athlete. He was a wide receiver on the Dwenger football team this past fall. He's a senior. Not just this past fall that he played football, but this was his final season of Dwenger football. And of course, Dwenger football is a huge deal. Talking about a school that's won 5 state championships on the gridiron. Sioka with the offensive board. He was a wide receiver for the football team too, but O'Keefe misses the three, and that's Boyer who comes down for the board. Gage Sefton will bring it the other way for the Braves. Now, Blackhawk Christian does not have a football team. It's a school that has some great athletic programs. The baseball team's won 3 state championships under then head coach Mark Harmon. At least I think Harmon won 2 of those state championships. He's the principal now. And, of course, Blackhawk Christian boys basketball has won 2 state championships, those coming in the last 3 years. And the girls basketball team has gotten a lot better under head coach Steph Gongaware. That ball is swatted away by Jackway. The ref was there to help him up and keep him from any further injury as Cameron Quinlan drains a 3-ball. Dwenger's got their largest lead of the game. They're up by 5. First comes away from the block. Good defense there by Sioka. Now they get it to first on the opposite block. Sioka again doing a good job defensively, and he forces the turnover. Traveling called on first. And the Saints take over with 5:55 to go in this second quarter. And by the way, we do have an update for you on one of tomorrow's games. I believe the only basketball game on the schedule tomorrow for Summit City Sports. Concordia and Wayne girls basketball will now be played on Saturday. It will not be played tomorrow night, as Josh First comes down with that rebound. So if you're tuning in tomorrow night to watch that game, the game will not be on tomorrow night. As Josh First hits the jump hook on the other end. Blackhawk Christian's within 3. O'Keefe looking for the lob, and the shot is good by Preston Ross. Preston Ross has his first made basket on the night. But here's Boyer cutting to the rim. Got it! Right over the outstretched arm of Ross. I believe Boyer just got on the board for the first time in this game. That jumper would not fall. Boyer tips the rebound into Davidson's hands. Sefton wanted to shoot the 3, it looks like. Instead, he finds Davidson. Now Boyer off a little pass fake. Fires a 3. It does not fall. Foul called on the Braves. And it'll go back to the Saints. That would have tied the game had that one gone down. The ball bounced way up off the back iron before it ricocheted out. Henry O'Keefe across the timeline. Backing in is Jackway. Jackway right over the defender, and he got it. Right over Boyer. Bo Jackway puts it home. Here's First away from the paint, feeds it outside to Davidson. Davidson looking to get to the block, puts up the little hook shot. It is no good, and Jackway's got the board. Campbell fires it downfield, a little quarterback-style pass. As Ross goes back outside, that's Jackway, and he hits a 3. Bo Jackway, the 6'8" power forward, knocking it down from beyond the arc. Davidson fakes the pass and gives it up to Sefton. This 8-point lead is the largest that Dwenger has had, but Sefton is able to slow that run for the time being. A 19-13 lead for Dwenger, as here's Ross out of the top of the key. Gives that one off to C.J. Piper. Jackway right over Boyer, couldn't knock it down. Ross had the board. We're going to call a foul. I think it's on Blackhawk. The signal looked like a signal for a hook and hold. Well, no, it's not a hook and hold. I believe a hook and hold would be essentially an intentional foul. Meanwhile, this is Jackway backing in, goes right over top of First and gets fouled. That's the 4th team foul against Blackhawk Christian. One thing Bishop Dwenger's done a good job of is they've kept the fouls to a minimum. They've only committed 1. And Blackhawk Christian's committed just 4, and we've got 2.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. That is normally pretty good. But with Dwenger not fouling any more than once, Blackhawk Christian probably wish they had a few more fouls, Dwenger that is. That free throw is good. Jackway's now got 8 points in the game to lead all Dwenger scorers. As Davidson fakes the pass inside, gets it to Sefton away from the block. He finds Davidson right near the block. And now Sefton drives the baseline and turns it over. And that's going to be a foul. Oh, traveling is the call. The home crowd wanted Boyer to get called for a blocking foul. Instead, it's a turnover on Dwenger. as Davidson will put that one in play to Lewis Jones. He barely gets it back to Davidson. Davidson's jump shot is too strong. Offensive board ripped away by First. And he's fouled on the inside. The home crowd wanted him to get called for traveling. Instead, Josh First will go to the charity stripe. His team's down 7 points as the foul is called on Preston Ross. Only the second team foul against Dwenger in this first half. First able to drain that first free throw. Not a very high-scoring game, but it is a fairly close game as Josh First is up to 6 points for this game so far. 20-15 in favor of Bishop Dwenger with 2 minutes to go. This is Sam Campbell. Again, he shoots it at over 40% from beyond the arc, but he's looking inside to Owen Shively, and Shively does not disappoint. Dwenger has led by as many as 8 in this game. Here's Sefton with a pull-up jump shot. It comes up short, and the rebound's going to be won by the Saints. Shively tipped it to Campbell. Campbell gets a high screen from Jackway. 1:25 on the clock. Campbell will back it out. Boyer guards him. Boyer's been asked to guard the little guys and the big guys tonight. That's stolen away by Lewis Jones. Looking for First up the court, and First could not finish, but he was fouled. Was a shooting foul, so Josh First at the line to shoot 2. And he's able to cash in on the first one. First goes 2 for 2 on that trip. Clay Pickett will come into the game. Here's Campbell looking inside. Instead, he goes outside to C.J. Piper, and Piper will drive into the paint. This is that one out to Shively, down to 55 seconds here in the first half. There's no shot clock in Indiana high school basketball, so the Saints can kill as much time off this clock as they want to. Right now, Sioka able to win that battle, and the basket goes for C.J. Piper. Here's Sefton. Swings it outside to Lewis Jones. Down to 21 seconds. Jones into the paint. Has it contested, and he was fouled. So it looks like Lewis Jones will get himself a trip to the free throw line. He'll get to shoot 2 free throws. Fouls piling up just a little bit for Bishop Dwenger here in this second quarter rather. 4 fouls total, and Jones is able to cash in on that free throw. Lewis Jones, I believe, has his first basket of the night. He goes 2 for 2. Now Bishop Dwenger can hold for the final shot. C.J. Piper gets it across the timeline. Sam Campbell shoots it at over 40% from beyond the arc. Hasn't made one yet. Double dribble is the call on Jackway. Jackway looked like he was surprised by the call, and I think the fans along with him. Sefton almost had it stolen by Campbell. He hoists one up, and it's no good with the clock winding down. Well, at halftime, the score is 24-19 in favor of Bishop Dwenger, trying to pull off the upset against Blackhawk Christian. Meantime, we've got a quick word from our sponsors to give you here on SummitCitySports.com. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. We are the region's largest integrated sports medicine team, providing athletes with specialized services from improving their performance to recovering from injuries. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. Well, if you like good defense, we got plenty of that. Both teams playing a lot of man-to-man defense, but we've had a lot of good fundamental defense. Guys making sure that they stay between the basket and their man when they're on defense and not allowing them to get easy shots. That's what we've seen a lot of here in this game so far between Bishop Dwenger and Blackhawk Christian. Talk more about what's going on so far when we come back after this break. You're watching high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I like to stay active. I try to come in here at least 3 times a week and just get my 1-hour workout in. Since September, I think I've put on 22 pounds of muscle. I think my vertical has gone up plus 5 inches. I've gotten a lot faster since then too. I can hit the ball further. In football, I can push people around more. It's basketball easier too. Just being stronger just makes everything easier.
Brandon started with gym rats basketball training. After one of the sessions, he came up to me and he wanted to know if he could do more. So Brandon started the EDGE program in November in addition to the club training he was doing because it offers personalized programming for his athletic goals. PSN Performance uses a long-term athletic development pyramid. At such a young age, it's really good for Brandon to set the foundation of athletic development. Since he is in season all year round, he has to be ready for all the physical demands. So he does a lot more strength training just because in basketball he sprints and cuts a lot. In baseball he's doing a lot of sprinting. In football he does a lot of sprinting and jumping. So preparing him to withstand the physical demands of those games, he does a lot more strength training.
I like all the lower body stuff the best. I do goblet squats, split squats, back squat, front squat, a lot of those. Tyler knows what's best for me. He always points me in the right direction. He just pushes me to go harder every day.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Dealing with joint pains, sprains, strains, or back pain? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, Ortho Express has specialized orthopedic physicians on staff when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Ortho Express is open Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Friday 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 260-266-4007 for more.
24-19, Bishop Dwenger, normally a thorn in the side of Blackhawk Christian, despite the fact that Blackhawk Christian's beaten them the last couple of years. Dwenger has played them tough, but the Saints are leading here at halftime, 24-19, looking to hold on and get the win against a Blackhawk Christian team that's not only defending state champions, but is also 13-1 on the season. Here's a look at the halftime statistics for you. Josh First is Blackhawks' leading scorer with 8 points. Gage Sefton has 5 points. Jake Boyer, I believe, has 4. And Lewis Jones has 2. Bishop Dwenger's leading scorer for this game is Bo Jackway with 8 points. Owen Shively has 5. C.J. Piper with 4. Cameron Quinlan with 3. Preston Ross with 2. It's a great defensive battle. I talked about that before the break and how both teams are doing a good job playing man-to-man defense. It's not a whole lot of turnovers, though we've had some. It's just great fundamental defense. Guys staying between the basket and their man. They're running with their man, making sure they don't have any easy shots. And both teams on offense have been moving without the basketball, so they're trying not to make it easy on opposing defenses, but the defenses have adjusted. They continue to play great man-to-man as this game goes on. There's an update from one of our other games going on tonight. Northrop's got a 41-28 lead over Canterbury. That game's in the third quarter. That's boys basketball. We'll see if we can't get an update on that Concordia-New Haven game. Looks like they might be in halftime right now, so we'll try and get an update on that one when we get a chance to do so. But one of the other games going on was Huntington North versus Southside. That one might have gone final. So we'll get you an update on that one as soon as we get it. But in the meantime, Bishop Dwenger leading Blackhawk Christian 24-19, and we're back in just a matter of moments here on SummitCitySports.com.
I came into PSM my freshman year after volleyball. Just coming here just really improved mentally and physically. I brought in my strengths. I came in and I learned how to grow as an athlete. I mean, I've gotten stronger, sprint faster, get up higher. My jump has elevated. Working with Tyler, he built up my endurance for everything, whether it's in weights, sprints. All across the board, we just keep working, and I have athlete development at Warsaw High School that I go to, and so I send him my thing every day, and he changes what we do in here to adapt to what we do there. High school volleyball, when you can go up to 5 sets, being able to just outwork everybody and still being able to put in that 100% was huge for me. PSM performance definitely helped me mentally. I know I can beat out people. I know I can work for what I have, and I know I can even go to the next level on the court. Looking at college, I can put on it. I'm training at a college level. I mean, I come in here and I watch college athletes train. You have hockey players, soccer. You look around and you see every type you can. Just being able to see that level, and I know that I can reach that level as well. You got to work to be the best, and that was just what I wanted to do. I knew that from a young age. I wanted to put in the work.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
Welcome back to Bishop Dwenger High School. We do have an update on that Huntington North Southside game. It has gone final. Huntington North is your winner, 52-39, in that girls basketball matchup over at Don Reichert Gymnasium on Southside's campus. After that Concordia-New Haven game, looking up the score right now, see if we got it. Looks like we got it, and New Haven has got the lead, 39-25 over Concordia in that one. That's a Concordia team that is currently in a 3-way tie for first place in the SAC, although Snyder would get the tiebreaker over both Concordia and Homestead in that department. because Snyder beat both of those teams. Snyder beat Concordia this past Friday night, and they beat Homestead on the road the week prior. Blackhawk Christian is going to start the second half of the basketball here against Bishop Dwenger. Bishop Dwenger usually plays them tough, and they're doing so tonight. Tough enough to have the lead, the Saints are. They give to Gage Sefton. He goes over to First. First using the baseline against Ross. Goes for the hook shot, no good. I think Jackway got a piece of that one, either him or Ross. The lob to Jackway, it's knocked out of bounds. Blackhawk ball. Lewis Jones came over to contest. He got a piece of the ball, and apparently Jackway was the last to touch it. Here comes Sefton back down the floor. Gets around the screen from First into the paint. Comes back outside and finds Davidson. We got Preston Ross tasked with guarding Josh First. First will come to set the screen. They get it to First, going for the one-on-one matchup. And First could not connect on the shot. Battle for the rebound. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Saints. Here's Sam Campbell across the timeline. He's picked up by Sefton. Little shot fake there by Owen Shively. Jones came to contest. That's Ross looking for Jackway. Tough catch, and Jackway able to put it home. Bo Jackway working hard on the interior. He's got 10 points. Gage Sefton using the baseline. Couldn't get it to go. Josh First has the board. Up with the second try. That's off the rim. Back the other way come the Saints. Corner three is good. Owen Shively from downtown. Bo Jackway will get credit for the assist on that one. Dwenger has their largest lead of the game. They're up 10 points. The Braves find First on the interior. His shot no good. Davidson up with the putback try and apparently got fouled. That looked like all ball from here. But either way, they'll keep it give the Braves a trip to the free throw line as Jimmy Davidson will put up these two shots with 6:04 to go in the third quarter. And Davidson able to knock down that free throw. There's plenty of shooters who bring the ball up over their head to shoot the ball. Davidson, I think, brings it further behind his head than anybody. He missed the second free throw. Maybe not anybody. And there are some guys who shoot their free throws underhanded. You might remember Rick Barry from a long, long time ago. He shot it underhanded. So did his son, Canyon Barry. That's a long three by Sam Campbell, and Campbell joins the three-point party. He shoots it at over 40% from beyond the arc, but he hadn't hit one yet today. That's no longer the case as Dwenger has got their largest lead of the game. Gage Sefton, or rather Lewis Jones, was looking to go baseline there. Out to Boyer. He fakes the three, and he got fouled on the drive. No shot. It'll still be Blackhawk Christian basketball as Jimmy Davidson looks like he'll be the one to put it in play. He'll put it in play from the sideline. Jimmy Davidson, one of the several sons of Mark Davidson. Mark Davidson, the head coach of Blackhawk Christian, took over for Jay Sefton. Jay's got a son on this team. It's Gage Sefton. He's got the ball right now. Gage threw up a wild shot and couldn't get it to go. Here's Piper down the floor, finds Campbell. That's a tough catch on the baseline. He's going to try another one. Not this time. First, swatch the rebound into Jackway's hands, and Jackway gets fouled. Student section wants a technical. I have not seen a signal for a technical foul. They call the foul on Josh First. Jackway will head to the free throw line. Jackway able to get the first free throw to roll home. He goes 2 for 2. Bo Jackway with 12 points in the game. He'll take a break as Rocco Sioka checks in for the Saints. This 14-point lead is Bishop Dwenger's largest of the game. They've played Blackhawk Christian tough the last 2 times they've played them, but have not been able to come out on top. One dribble for Davidson, leans in, couldn't finish. Sioka goes after the board, and he traveled. Brought the ball down with him after the rebound, and now Blackhawk Christian will keep possession. Davidson looking to put it in play. That's a high catch there by Josh First. Here's Sefton into the paint. Boyer has a corner 3. Can't knock it down. Davidson might have been trying to tip it in, but to no avail. Boyer long on the 3. First grabs the board and puts it home. First has had to deal with the likes of Preston Ross and I believe Bo Jackway defensively, but that time First was able to get in position for that offensive board. He's got 10 points. Even with all the good defense he's had to deal with, he's still in double figures as Campbell gets a screen from Sioka. Sioka going baseline, swings it cross court. That's Piper with a wide open 3. It's in and out. Boyer with the rebound. Matt Kostoff telling his guys to get back on defense. They did. Sefton couldn't finish, but the tip-in is good. Jake Boyer with the putback. Back-to-back buckets for the Braves. Jake Boyer up to 6 points in this game. Last 4 points for Blackhawk Christian have been off of offensive rebounds. 3.5 minutes to go this third quarter. Piper looking to go against Davidson. Kicks it to Sioka. His jumper does not fall, and it's Jimmy Davidson who's got the board. Davidson pushing. Goes for the hook shot. Got it! 6 straight points for Blackhawk Christian, and don't look now, but they've cut it down to 6. Jimmy Davidson was the only guy to touch the basketball that last possession for the Braves, but it results in 2 points. As we'll take a quick look at some of the stuff that has transpired the last couple times that Blackhawk Christian has had the ball. This is going to be the putback here by Jake Boyer. Gets in the right place at the right time and is able to put it back to make it a 10-point game. The Braves had scored 4 straight points off of offensive rebounds. They didn't need an offensive rebound, though, on this possession. Jimmy Davidson led him down the floor. Went for the hook shot right over the defender, and he got it. It's Dwenger ball, trying to preserve what is currently an 8-point lead. Bo Jackway is back in the game after a brief rest. They get it to him over the defender, and a foul's called on the Braves. It's a non-shooting foul. They call it on Jake Boyer called for the foul. 32, not 13. Davidson touched that ball on the way out. And it's going to stay with Bishop Dwenger. That's former Dwenger athletic director John Bennett, who was right there to recover the ball. Greg Slee now serves as Dwenger's AD. That's a corner 3 by Campbell. It's off the mark. I believe the last 3 possessions, Dwenger has misfired on 3-point shots. They've got some guys who can knock it down as Sefton leans in, couldn't finish, and Sioka grabs the board. Piper comes down the floor, drives into the paint, tough shot off the rim. That was a great look for Piper, but he could not finish. Davidson up with the hook shot. No, he gets his own miss, and he gets fouled. Cameron Quinlan into the game for Bishop Dwenger. This is Davidson who will look to put the ball in play for the Saints. They'll blow the whistle and allow Henry O'Keefe to enter the game. .218 to go. Davidson finds First. First with one dribble. Finds Lewis Jones outside the three-point line. His shot no good. Kept in play by First. It's Blackhawk Christian ball. Josh First hustling after it. And he preserves the possession for the Braves. They got First one-on-one with Sioka on him. First looks to go against him. Throws it up and gets fouled. Two crucial free throws here for Josh First as Blackhawk Christian is trying to get back into this game. Been on a good track the last few possessions, but the first free throw's no good. His second one rims out. The Braves had scored 6 straight points before those two free throws. And First jumps the route but knocks it out of bounds. Here's Piper at the top of the key. Wanted to fire. Now he's got space, but he can't connect. Feed to Jackway out on the wing. He gets it to Piper, and Piper gets fouled. They're going to say non-shooting foul. It's going to be Dwenger ball. It's on Lewis Jones, only the third team foul against the Braves. Braves have scored the last 6 points. Dwenger is trying to snap quite the long scoreless streak as Piper will back this out. Even having Bo Jackway back on the floor has not helped them score in the last couple minutes. But Jackway's put in a solid performance tonight. This is Quinlan on the drive, kicks it back outside. Speaking of Jackway, he's got 12 points. Now, not that Dwenger's going to do this, but they could hold for the final shot of the quarter. Got over a minute to go, but there's no shot clock in high school basketball, not in Indiana at least. Piper gets around the screen from Jackway. Inside to Sioka. Sioka with the jump hook, got it! Sioka snaps the scoreless streak. He's got his first points of the game. Braves go inside to Josh First. The spin move on Sioka, left it short. Sioka comes out with a rebound. Up ahead to O'Keefe. O'Keefe with a wild throw. Sioka's there. Loose ball, and the Braves get the takeaway. And then Jones gets fouled in transition. They call it on Bo Jackway. That's his third. For as well as he's played tonight, he's now in a little bit of foul trouble. He'll go to the bench. Preston Ross will take his place. And here's Gage Sefton across the timeline. Check that. That is Lewis Jones. No, that is Sefton, I beg your pardon, number 30. Sefton looking to go baseline. That looked like an elbow. The Dwenger fans thought as much. Offensive board by First, and he gets fouled. Well, First went 0 for 2 from the charity stripe last time he went there. He'll look for better success this time, as his team's now down by 10. He just did get that first free throw to fall. First head shot it well from the free throw line before his last trip. I believe he had gone 4 for 4 on that trip. He's now 5 for 7. 6 for 8. Sam Campbell into the game for Bishop Dwenger. With 9.6 to go, the inbound will go to Campbell. Campbell gets a screen from Sioka. Campbell kept his footing, kept his dribble, hoists up a long three, and it's an air ball. That'll end the third quarter. Bishop Dwenger with an 8-point lead. They got the lead out to 14, but Blackhawk Christian made a little push there in the third quarter. We'll see what the fourth quarter has in store next here on SummitCitySports.com.
Here at Always 100, we have different things that we provide each week with our elite training, working on things that can help them get a scholarship in the future if they don't have one right now. Watching skill development, helping kids get better, understanding what it takes to get to the next level, catching and shooting, working on ball handling. In the last 5 years, we had over 200 kids that's able to play basketball at some places from the NAIA, Division III, Division II, or Division I level.
Bishop Dwenger leads Blackhawk Christian 46-38. Played close games against the Braves the last couple of years, including last year when they lost 57-49 in January. Jones had the look from three, now drives inside. Little turnaround jump shot comes up short. Jimmy Davidson grabs the rebound for the Braves. Jones fakes the shot against two defenders, and he gets fouled. They're going to call the foul on Rocco Sioka. Braves actually beat the Saints by 4 in 2020. It was 56-52 was the final there. Should say that was the final right here. Beat him again by 9 the year before. Last win for Bishop Dwenger against Blackhawk Christian was the 2017-2018 season. That was an overtime win. And they beat a Blackhawk Christian team that ended up going to semi-state. That Blackhawk team did not win a state championship, but they did win a state championship a year later as Jimmy Davidson was able to get one of those two free throws. Timeout is called by Matt Kostoff with 7:28 to go in this game. That's the first timeout I believe either team has used. It's a full timeout, so we'll come back after this break on SummitCitySports.com.
Here at Always 100, we have different things that we provide each week with our elite training, working on things that can help them get a scholarship in the future if they don't have one right now. Watching skill development, helping kids get better, understanding what it takes to get to the next level, catching and shooting, working on ball handling. In the last 5 years, we had over 200 kids that's able to play basketball at some places from the NAIA, Division III, Division II, or Division I level.
Early in the fourth quarter, the inbound here goes to Quinlan, and he was fouled off the inbound. Jimmy Davidson's going to be called for that foul. That's the fourth team foul against Blackhawk. Braves still have 2 fouls to give. That is Davidson's third foul of the game. Long inbound to Sioka. He goes up like a wide receiver to catch that pass. Of course, Sioka is a wide receiver. He's played wide receiver at Bishop Dwenger these last 2 years. Was their leading scorer in leading receiver in 2020. He's not the leading scorer. But here is Sam Campbell. He was also a wide receiver on the Dwenger football team. Preston Ross comes out, looks to set the screen for him, and he does. Now first switches on to Campbell. That allows Boyer to take Sioka. Campbell on the drive against multiple defenders. Count it! And a foul! Sam Campbell, a tenacious drive, and he's going to the line. That's Josh First's third foul of the game. And Campbell's able to drain the free throw. It's back to a 10-point Dwenger lead. Bo Jackway will come into the game for Dwenger. They're trying to knock off Blackhawk Christian for the first time since 2018. That was a Blackhawk Christian team that ended up making it to state, so that was a huge win for the Saints as Sefton dishes it outside to Boyer. His three's off the mark. Battle for the rebound. Ross has got it. Braves will put on some full court pressure. That's C.J. Piper lofts it to Campbell. Campbell inside the paint, running around. Jackway comes to set the screen. Jones defending him. Over to Piper. They got Ross posting up inside. Davidson swatting after the ball, and it's blocked by Sefton. Davidson comes the other way, gets into the paint, goes for the hook shot, and he got it. Jimmy Davidson has scored off of that hook shot a couple of times. Racing down the floor, meanwhile, is Piper, and he puts it home. C.J. Piper gets ahead of the pack. Been a low-scoring night for Piper so far. It's been a low-scoring night for a lot of guys, but First will earn himself a trip to the charity stripe. Preston Ross will get called for that foul. That's his third. Starting to see guys get more and more into foul trouble as this game goes on, and First is able to knock down the free throw. First goes 2 for 2 on that trip. His free throw shooting has been good tonight. Only 2 misses from beyond the arc, or from the charity stripe, rather. Give him 14 points for the game. Here's Piper. He's got Jackway on the interior. Jackway's had a big night. Jackway's got 12 points in the game. He's calling for it. Jimmy Davidson guarding him. Josh First looked like he was there for the help side. He's guarding Preston Ross. The lob inside to Jackway. Jackway trying to spin against multiple defenders. Ross just knocked that to Piper. I don't know if that was intentional or not. It might have been. But now Dwenger will take some more time off the clock. Technically, they could drain the entire clock, but that's rare at this stage of the game. There's 4:37 left to go. Here's Shively on the drive into the paint. He'll go up for the hook shot, and he got it. A long possession results in 2 points for Owen Shively. He's in double figures. Sefton the lob inside to First. First one-on-one. Spin move, and First scores. Josh First with his first field goal of this fourth quarter. He's got 16 points. Tough shot, no good, but First commits the foul. That's going to send C.J. Piper to the free throw line. It's fourth foul of the game, and Blackhawk Christian has no more fouls to give. Piper is able to knock down that first free throw. That's 2 for 2 goes Piper. Give him 8 points in the game. As Bishop Dwenger trying to close out a win against Blackhawk Christian. They haven't gotten one of those since 2018. That pass goes out of bounds over the head of Davidson. That Dwenger team in 2018 went 12-11. Blackhawk Christian went to state, but the Saints got to celebrate a marquee win against the Braves. That ball's out of bounds. Blackhawk Christian takes over. They say it went off of Sam Campbell. Looked like Gage Sefton got a hand on it. Great defensive play by Sefton as Blackhawk is looking to come from behind on the road. Their only loss of the season was to Homestead. They'll have more games against the SAC to come. Leading in is Sefton. Gage Sefton rather quiet in the second half. Comes up with a big bucket there for the Braves. Here's Piper weaving through the lane, not in any kind of hurry. Piper into the paint. Dishes it out to Jackway, and he'll back it out. Saints in a position where they can take some time off the clock before their next shot. Jackway was coming to set the screen. They find Ross. Ross gets fouled by Davidson. That's the 7th team foul on the Braves, so that will put the Saints at the line for 1-1 here in just a moment, and Mark Davidson is going to call a timeout. That's his first timeout of the game. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll stay with you for this one. A great defensive showing in this particular game. Here in the second half, we've seen a little bit of that as well. It's a lot of man-to-man defense between both teams. It's not a whole lot of zones, not a whole lot of presses. There have been a few presses, particularly by Blackhawk in recent minutes, but it's mostly been man-to-man, great fundamental defense. Stay between your man and the basket. Don't allow him to get an easy shot. That's what the guys have done on the defensive side of the floor most of the night. Now, Bishop Dwenger, they've probably got a nasty taste in their mouths from, I believe it was this past Friday when they lost to Lures. That's a rivalry game. That's not a game that you want to lose if you're a Dwenger player or a Dwenger fan. A week from Friday, Dwenger will get Snyder. That free throw rims out. Sefton gets it on the deck. Here comes Davidson down the floor. Zips it over to Jones. Jones will take the baseline. Finds Sefton for three. Sefton drains it. And it's a 5-point game here at Dwenger. Full court pressure by the Braves. And Piper gets fouled in transition by Boyer. Gage Sefton hit the game-tying turnaround three against Homestead to send that game to overtime. We don't know if we're going to get any kind of similar heroics tonight, but he just hit a huge three to keep his team in the game. Piper short arms the free throw. Dwenger's played a great game most of the night, but they've left some points out there at the charity stripe these last two possessions. Here's Sefton on the drive, leaning in, contested shot. It's out of bounds. Blackhawk keeps it. Crowd wants a held ball. Had that been the call, it would have gone back to Bishop Dwenger. Crowd is still chanting a held ball. At that point, the officials were more focused on a wet spot on the floor. Player safety comes before officiating. That's going to be an offensive foul. Jimmy Davidson leaned in with the elbow, or rather with the shoulder, and it goes back to Bishop Dwenger. Mark Davidson pleading his case, pleading his son's case. That's right, Jimmy Davidson is Mark Davidson's son, and Mark's not happy about the call. But it's Bishop Dwenger basketball. Davidson perhaps still expressing some displeasure with that last call with the official. Either that or just getting some clarification. And Davidson's going to dig into his bench here. Jimmy Davidson, by the way, just fouled out of the game, and that's one reason why Mark Davidson was pleading Jimmy's case, because he just lost one of his starters for the rest of the game. Into the game comes Clay Pickett, a 6'1" guard. This is Piper coming across the timeline, feeds it off to Campbell. Campbell splits defenders and gets fouled. That's the 10th team foul on the Braves, so this will be double bonus for Bishop Dwenger. They missed the front end of a 1-and-1 the last 2 trips down the floor. But Campbell hits the first one here. Second free throw is no good. Saints got one, but they left another one out there. Here's Sefton across the timeline. He finds Boyer. Jimmy Davidson has fouled out of the game, and Sefton looked like he got pushed away from the ball. Lewis Jones also went tumbling, and so did Owen Shively. They're going to call the foul here against Dwenger. Couldn't quite tell the number. Home crowd wants a flop call, but none has been called. They're going to get Piper for that foul. That's only his second. It is the 10th team foul against Bishop Dwenger. Some big free throws coming up here for Gage Sefton. He's able to hit the first one. It's going to be a 2-possession game no matter what happened on these free throw attempts, but he's got a chance to cut the deficit down to 4. Blackhawk Christian was down by as many as 14 in this game. I believe they were down by 19 to Homestead earlier this year. They came all the way back to tie that game and force overtime. It was Gage Sefton who hit the game-tying 3 to send it to overtime. But Blackhawk Christian lost that game in the end. Sefton does, however, go 2 for 2 from the stripe here. Full court pressure by the Braves. O'Keefe gets the ball across the timeline. Feeds it outside to Quinlan. We're down to 2 minutes to play. Dwenger does not have to be in any kind of hurry here. For the most part, when they've had the ball, they really haven't been. And early in this half, when they weren't in a hurry, they were able to get some good looks off of their ball movement. But Blackhawk Christian getting into that position where they need to foul, and they do foul. It'll send C.J. Piper to the free throw line. They call Clay Pickett for that foul, the guard who came in off the bench for Jimmy Davidson. Davidson having fouled out of the game. 1:46 left on the clock. Piper's first free throw is good. A 1:46 left in this game as Piper goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Saints had struggled from the stripe the last few possessions, but Piper able to hit them both. Out to Boyer. That looked like an elbow. They don't call it. They get it to Sefton on the baseline. His jumper comes up short. Piper grabs the rebound and gets fouled. And Piper will be going right back. Check that. That's Bo Jackway. Bo Jackway, who's had the big night tonight for Blackhawk Christian, there comes up with a big defensive rebound, and he's going to the line. Jake Boyer called for the foul. That's his third. As fouls start to pile up here in the second half. We had a combined 8 fouls in the first half. Jackway is true. He's true again. Eight-point lead for the Saints. Boyer fires a three. It's short. Campbell with the rebound, racing down the floor. He's going to back it out and try to drain some time off or draw the foul. He does the latter. Lewis Jones going to be called for that one. That's only Jones's second foul, and Campbell will be at the line to shoot two. They're in double bonus the rest of the way here. 1:15 left to go. But Campbell comes up short on that free throw. We've seen that a few times from Bishop Dwenger here in this second half. Both free throws good for, second free throw good for Campbell. The first was not. Here's Sefton racing down the floor. Puts up a tough shot on the inside. He gets his own miss and puts it back. And that's going to prompt a timeout from Mark Davidson. His second. Neither coach has had to use a whole lot of timeouts in this game, but this is a full timeout, so we'll take a break along with him on Summit City Sports.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
Your kids grow up quick, and there's a lot to teach them. Some lessons they won't pick up in school. Some they'll learn the hard way. But when it's time to give them the keys to their finances, we'll be there to help. With their first checking account and the tools they need to make sense of their money. And even though they're off on their own, you'll be able to check in to see how they're doing. Raising your children is important, and teaching them about money is a big deal. So ProFed makes it easy. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing.
51-44, Bishop Dwenger leading Blackhawk Christian, trying to get their first win against the Braves since 2018. Saints have suffered some close losses in that time period. They've hung tough against Blackhawk Christian last year, lost by 8. Hung tough against them the year before and lost by 4 as Campbell beats the press, loses the ball. It's picked up by the Braves. That was picked up by Aiden Muldoon, and the basket is good. Gage Sefton, and another timeout. It's back down to a 5-point game. Gage Sefton hit a 3 earlier this quarter that made it a 5-point game. He hits a transition bucket that time to make it a 5-point game. And while we have a moment, we'll go ahead and show you one of our replays. We'll actually show you a couple of our replays on the Traction AP replay. This is a transition opportunity for the Braves that resulted in a 3 for Sefton. This is a shot I was just talking about that made it a 5-point game. Sefton knocks down a big triple there. But then Sefton scores in transition. And we won't have time to show you that one as Bishop Dwenger is about to put the ball in play. Holding on to a 5-point lead. They get it into Shively. Piper was close to the baseline, and he comes running in to Jake Boyer. Whistle was blown before the contact, and I think it's a foul on the Braves. They call it on Aiden Muldoon. So that'll send C.J. Piper to the free throw line. This is double bonus. As we go ahead and show you the last replay that we were going to show, Blackhawk Christian forces the turnover. And Gage Sefton able to put in to make it a 5-point game, but we got to update that because it's now a 6-point game. C.J. Piper just hit the first of 2 free throws. Hits both of them. C.J. Piper in double figures. He's got 12 points for the game, down to 50 seconds. Catch and shoot from the corner. It's good! Clay Pickett his first points of the game. He came into the game after Jimmy Davidson fouled out. That is an incredible shot by Clay Pickett. And he was wide open on that play. A good shot, and I think Mark Davidson just called his 4th timeout. He's got 1 left. And Blackhawk Christian is not going away. They were down by 14. And they've cut it all the way down to a 4-point deficit in a game where defense has been king for most of the night. The Braves starting to get some shots when it matters most, but can they come all the way back? Bishop Dwenger is trying to get their first win against Blackhawk Christian since 2018. They had some close games against Blackhawk in that time, including the game 2 years ago right here on this very gym. I had the pleasure of calling that one. 56-52 was the final score. That Bishop Dwenger team had plenty of athletes. Even though they only won 6 games, they were not short on talent. Campbell is fouled before he gets to the timeline. Jake Boyer going to be called for that one. Blackhawk Christian's in that position where they can't waste a whole lot of time. They have to foul, and they did, even though Bishop Dwenger is in the double bonus. Campbell's able to cash in on that first free throw. Bishop Dwenger has had some free throw trouble this 4th quarter, but not on that trip. Campbell goes 2 for 2. Here's Sefton across the timeline. He's going to attack. Spins inside. Foul is called. They're going to discuss to see if the basket should count, thinking that might be goaltending. It looked like the ball was touched after it hit the backboard. I don't think that's the call, though. Mark Davidson's pleading his case. It's the second personal on Sam Campbell. It's the 10th team foul on the Saints. It was on the shot, so Sefton is going to shoot 2 free throws. Gage Sefton up to 10 points for the game as Blackhawk Christian's trying to pull off a huge comeback. They've kept it close here in this 4th quarter, even after falling behind by 14 points in the 3rd. Sefton knocks them both down. The Braves will put on some full court pressure. Campbell gets fouled by Clay Pickett. And Sam Campbell will go right back to that free throw line. Saints had some free throw trouble in this 4th quarter, but can they hit their shots down the stretch? Campbell doesn't hit this one. He'll get one more. Saints were in the double bonus. They will be the rest of this game. .6 seconds left to go. Campbell's free throw rims out. The door is open for Blackhawk Christian. Sefton drives inside, loses the ball. Jackway takes it away. A big night he has had all night long. Ross makes a tough catch, and then Matt Kostoff trying to get a timeout. Apparently didn't get it in time. Traveling is the call. And I'm not sure if they're calling that on Ross or Campbell. But either way, it's going to be Blackhawk Christian basketball. With just 15 seconds left to go, Blackhawk needs a quick shot. They get it out to Boyer. He'll fire. His 3 is too strong. Knocked away. Dwenger ball. Sefton almost had the rebound, but it was knocked away from behind. I think it was Shively who knocked it away from him. So now Dwenger can inbound. They don't even need to advance the ball across the timeline. They'll likely draw the foul here. Long time to get it in, though. And then Matt Kostoff gets the timeout this time. It's only the second one he's had to use. It's a full timeout with 7.4 left to play in regulation, as Bishop Dwenger needs to first of all get the ball in play. They almost didn't that time. But they'll need to get the ball in play and then look to draw a foul or look to run the clock down. There's no chance of a 10-second violation here. There's only 7.4 seconds left on the clock. But if Bishop Dwenger holds on for this win, and it looks like they will snap a 3-game losing streak to Blackhawk Christian. They lost by 4 here in this gym 2 years ago to the Braves in a hard-fought game. That was a Bishop Dwenger team that only won 6 games but had a lot of talent that they had to work with. You think about guys like Brendan Lytle, Xavier Nolan, Xavier Allen. Owen Shively was a part of that team, a key part of that team, even though he played mostly off the bench, as did C.J. Piper. Piper will look to put it in play here. That may have been an inadvertent buzzer. I don't see anyone at the scorer's table. As Piper will look to throw it in. He gets it in. That's O'Keefe, and O'Keefe draws the foul. He took 0.8 seconds off the clock there. 6.6 left to go, and Henry O'Keefe will head to the charity stripe to shoot a pair. Bishop Dwenger, after this game tonight, will be right back here on Tuesday as they take on Southside. O'Keefe goes 2 for 2, and that should put the nail in the coffin. Inbound goes to Sefton. He'll fire a 3. It comes up short. Piper's got the rebound. Dwenger's going to win this game. Bishop Dwenger, their first win against Blackhawk Christian since 2018. After a couple of close matchups with the Braves, the Saints come out on top 57-51. They hand the Braves their second loss of the season. A great defensive performance, even though Blackhawk Christian made a furious comeback there in the second half. But for the most part, great defense really by both teams. Bishop Dwenger played a lot of man-to-man, so did Blackhawk Christian, but one constant theme throughout the night, it was just great fundamentals. Guys staying between the basket and their man, not allowing guys to get an easy shot. It's what you often do in the man-to-man defense, and Bishop Dwenger did a good job of that. And they finished this game with a 57-51 victory. Our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game is going to be Bo Jackway. 14 points, a key steal at the end of the game, a couple of blocks, a good rebounding night for Jackway. Bo Jackway is your Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game. And that will do it from here at Bishop Dwenger. For my camera operator, Andrew Schreiber, this is Thad Goff saying so long from Bishop Dwenger High School. The Saints win it, 57-51. You've been watching Indiana High School basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
Your kids grow up quick, and there's a lot to teach them. Some lessons they won't pick up in school. Some they'll learn the hard way. But when it's time to give them the keys to their finances, we'll be there to help with their first checking account and the tools they need to make sense of their money. And even though they're off on their own, you'll be able to check in to see how they're doing. Raising your children is important, and teaching them about money is a big deal. So ProFed makes it easy. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing.